Good evening. It's 8 o'clock. It's time to get going. I've been sitting here like an excited child, waiting to press the button. Shall I press yet? Shall I press yet? I was desperate to press, but I thought, no, they're not going to be here. Hi, hi, hi. Please, please say hello as you are joining. The more people that say hi, the more people that give me a wave, give me a like, the more people in the group get notified that we have gone live. So I can see you all hopping on. Hooray that you have found me. It's fab to see you. So I was just saying, I was dying to press a button like an excited child. Shall I press yet? Shall I press? And I'm sitting waiting and no, you said 8 o'clock. Wait until it's 8 o'clock. So who is excited apart from me? Obviously, I'm a bit like that. I shall try and stay as calm as I can, but it's going to be amazing. It's just so exciting to have so many of you on. So say hi, thank you so much. These comments are scrolling so fast, I can hardly even read them. So how's your day been? Monday, the sun has shone for me. I don't want to rub it in, but the sun has shone. Fiona, hi. Emma, hi. Becky, hi. Yeah, the sun's shone and now it looks like it's about to absolutely chuck it down. So Rosanna, hi. Was that Isha? If I pronounce your name wrong, please type to me what the phonetic word is. Ramona, hi. Zoe. Amazing. Lots of people here. So it is so beautiful to have you. Thank you very much for joining. Petra. It's so distracting because it's kind of going, it's going really quickly. Michelle. And also, I've got to say, a big, massive well done for those of you who answered some of the questions over the last few days, hopped on, told me your favourite pets, whether or not you like Marmite. You know, I've asked you some really silly things and, you know, it was just a fun way of starting to just kind of get to know each other a little bit more, a little bit of engagement and to kind of get the group vibe going, which I hope you felt was good, and it did sort of. It felt good over the weekend to just go, oh look, a lot of people are answering my questions, which is fab. Is that Lilybeth? Hello. Right, okay, let me tell you how we're going to roll. I know I did a quick live on what even day of the week, I don't know, yesterday did I? I think it was yesterday, and just said, look, this is how we're going to do it, but let me recap in case you didn't see that. So we're together for 5 days. We are going to be exactly where you are here now in this group, live each of those days, so you don't need to go anywhere else. Just make sure you've got your notifications switched on and be here with me at 8 o'clock each evening. We've got a different topic each day and we're going to go through a journey. Now, why are we doing that? Why don't I just tell you a load of stuff and send you on your way? Well, it's not that easy. I'd love to be able to go, okay, here's what you need to do, you do this and this, and here's a form, and you follow the route. It doesn't work like that. Being your own boss, taking hold of your life, making changes isn't as simple as following a form and following a formula. You have to find out all sorts of things about you. You've got to find out about who you are inside yourself. You've got to find out what makes you tick. You've got to find out where your motivations lie. And you've got to dig really deep, because doing something for yourself isn't the same as working for somebody who pays you to turn up every morning. It takes guts, it takes bravery, it takes all sorts of things. So I'm not about to just go, here you go, here's a formula, trot on. And if that's what you're looking for, sorry, but you know, you're not going to get it. So you may as well not watch these lives, because what I'm going to take you on is a process. We're going to explore your thoughts, we're going to explore your ideas, we're going to look at how you can take what is already in you now, be that an idea, be that a skill, be that an expertise, be that a passion, whatever it is, there is something inside of you right now that you can create a business out of, and we're going to draw it out of you during these few days. We're going to get really practical, so we're going to do Friday is jam-packed. You definitely need a pen for that day, jam-packed full of here's some of these practical steps, but we don't get to that until Friday, because until then we are going to work on, well, what's your skill set, how are you going to get your message to the world, and actually, you know, where are you on that journey? So, you know, I want you to take it as exactly that. We can't just rush these things, and the best things come to those who wait, right? So during this week, you are going to have some tasks. I'm going to give you some things to think about, to go and research, to work out on your own. And then every day there'll be a post which pops up, because I've scheduled them, I know they will. They'll pop up at the end of each live. So that is then our post for the day. So everything that relates to today, pop it into that post. And the reason I ask you to do that is it just means I can concentrate on when I reply. I want to read them, I want to respond, I want to look at what you tell me. They will not be ignored. So please use that post and pop in your thoughts and your feedback, your oh my gosh, I never realised that, or wow, that was amazing, or I like your necklace, just saying if you fancy saying that, whatever it is, pop it in when it relates to this day, and then tomorrow same will happen, another will happen, another will happen, so that we can all stay together and we can move along together. Now if you do the homework tasks and you post a comment to say you've completed it, you give us your response, you share your answers, for want of a better word, then you will be in the chance to get, I can't speak now, you will be in with a chance to win one of the giveaways, which I'm going to announce next week, and I'll tell you what they are as I announce them. So they're worth having, they're fab giveaways, and I'll be telling you more about those as the week goes on. So is that clear? Everybody happy? Fabulous. So many comments flying through here. It's fab. Love it. Right, let's start. Why, firstly, should you listen to me? Why have you given me your time tonight and for the next few days to share my knowledge? Well, you probably know better than me, but no. Why should you then? I'll answer the why should you. Because I've done it, frankly, and listening to somebody who's done something that you want to do is extremely empowering because it gives you hope. So I'm like a total normal. I'm a totally normo person. I am a mum of 2 boys who are currently in the lounge watching Thunderbirds because that's the only way I could bribe them to stay quiet while I do this. I have 2 dogs. I live in Warwickshire. My husband works for a car company and we met through work. That's me. I'm like totally normal. So what I want to be is relatable for you. Everyone's got a story. Everyone's done stuff and we've all kind of bringing that along with us, and that's what becomes part of you. So I went to uni and I popped off straight into a job out of uni, didn't kind of stop to think about really what I wanted to do. And I worked for 20 years in the corporate world, being trained, being pushed from pillar to post, and I worked up that corporate ladder and thought I loved it. Like genuinely, I really did. I was driven and I was really focused. But then I had kids, and doesn't that change you? So for those of you that have kids, it just like totally changes your agenda. So when I was going to go back after my second, I didn't feel it in the same way. So give me a yes, sounds like me, keep typing. I am scan reading these as they come in. So if this resonates, then give me a yes, totally feel it. So I just didn't get that sort of sense and drive anymore that I used to have, and particularly with my second. So I struggled on and sort of I changed companies thinking, well, that'll do it. And then I changed companies again and thought, well, that'll do it. And I got a bit more responsibility, but it still didn't do it. So I left and I went, do you know what? I'm out because it's actually causing me all sorts of sort of subconscious stress. I wouldn't have said, oh, I'm sitting and going, I'm really stressed, but I just wasn't loving it in the same way. Totally feel that. Brilliant. So we're getting some yeses, but there is a delay, so don't think I'm ignoring you. So I went, right, that's kind of me out, and I left without having anything else to go to. So I left with no massive savings fund to kind of keep us going and let me stop for a year. I had nothing. I just went, I can't do this anymore. The time was right, and I was out. And I had to sort of get myself to the place where I admitted it. Burnout, yeah, pretty close. I didn't have a total meltdown, which many do. Thankfully, I probably stopped just before that. But yeah, I was on my way, I would say. So I was now in this place where I didn't have anything else to kind of do. So I thought, right, I'll go for interviews. I'll do the thing that you're supposed to do, join agencies and all that. Hated all of them. Just I went for the interviews and thought, nah, nothing worked. Until one of my friends said to me, and it was at an assembly, and I'll remember this until the day I die. She kind of sat next to me and we're waiting in assembly, which in itself, let's note that I had actually been able to go to see one of my children in the school assembly. And she said, how's it going with the job thing? And I was like, yeah, nothing, just don't fancy them. She said, well, what about a coach? And I said, well, hang on, I can't afford to buy a coach when I haven't, got any money coming in. And she's like, no, all the stuff that you like and you talked about it, you want to coach others, not you get a coach. Why don't you go be a coach? So I was like, right, this is just blowing my mind now. So off I went. And again, long story short, I did research, I did this, I did the other, and I got going. So I started my business. I went, yes, I'm here and I'm open. And I cocked it right up. And I had no clients and I was so deflated. Oh no, I am brilliant. I can help people. I've helped people for years at work. I can help. Why aren't they coming to me? So the process that I am going to take you through is that journey. It's the, what about if you get it right? What about if I get it wrong? Why do I want to change? Do I want to change enough that I'm going to actually stick to it? Because it's so easy to just go, this isn't for me, I'm out, I'm going back to where I went. But if it's right for you, it will always be right for you to work for yourself. So that's where I want to take you. And I want to show you how I've done it so that you can relate to being able to do it yourself. And I don't care what it is you're looking to offer, to provide, to how you're going to serve your people, be it products, be it a service, be it something you're going to deliver, whatever it is, it will all still resonate with you because the same process applies. You've still got to get your head in the right place. You've still got to have the plans in place. You've got to have all of these things to make any business work. So that is why I want to share, and that's the journey that I'm on now, to help other women go from that place of wearing the label of an employee, be it under whatever guise that is right now, because it's all a bit weird, isn't it? Through to feeling empowered, because when you're an employee, you are not empowered. They talk about, oh, we'll empower our people to make decisions. You are at the beck and call of your employer, and I don't care what it is you do, but at some level you're at the beck and call of them. When you work for yourself, totally different. You're at the beck and call of your own conscience, quite honestly. So you go from that position of you're driving somebody else's car to, wow, I'm driving my own car now. And it's scary and it's amazing all at the same time. So that is what I do now. That's what I help people do, to get that sense of, I like driving my own car and I know which direction I'm going to go in. So that is me. I just wanted to give you that as an overview because there's lots of you that are new in here. So you haven't had a length of time to get to know me, where I've been, what I've been doing, why am I here, what do I do? So that is a quick potted history. So hopefully, I'm going to go back because some of you have said that some of this is really common for you. Worked in the corporate world for you, left on nervous breakdown. Yeah, and it's horrible because there's so many stories like that you get pushed and you pushed and you pushed, and they will almost always take more than you're able to give because there's always a little bit more. Now, I have a lot to thank for all the corporate jobs I had, and I can't deny that, but do you know what? There comes a time when you just sort of, that's you're done and you've had enough. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about where you are right now. I don't mean like, are you sat in your lounge, are you in your spare room, are you hiding in the downstairs cupboard to get a bit of peace and quiet? I mean like in your head, where are you now? So I know that from seeing some of the feedback that some of you have had changed almost enforced upon you, so you've got opportunities now to look at something else. But I want to think broader than that, because there's ways that you can react to change. There's ways that you can behave when change is almost like thrust upon us. So I want you to have a think about and type this in. Tell me. So where are you? Are you happy? Are you fulfilled? What's a couple of words that describe where you think you are? Not like with lockdown. Let's talk general. If someone said, where are you in your life? Do you feel satisfied? Do you feel frustrated? Are you angry? Are you torn? Do you feel indecisive? Where do you think you fit into that at the moment? It's hard. It is hard. Think of a couple of words and type them in while I continue to talk to you. It is hard because how often do we sit and actually kind of think about our answer? How often do people ask us that on a true level? We're always asking each other, how are you doing? What's going on? How are you? And I think we've started to dig a little bit deeper during recent weeks, but actually, do we stop and think, yeah, actually. So Donna's seeking direction. Andrew's not fulfilled. Zoe's on. Lost, Brea, Louise Jane, on a path to making a change. Scary, exciting all at the same time. Got dreams, got vision, frustrated. Never get the break of the recognition. Happy, yeah. Ready to fall, so ready, frustrated. So we've got a bit of a mixed bag. Scared but embrace, yeah, scared, that's a big one, isn't it? Lost and frustrated, that one keeps coming up. Furlough, made redundant, yeah, absolutely. That's going to be quite a common route for loads of people, isn't it? Really happy with your decision, but stuck, yeah. So you kind of got to that place where you're in that position. You've made your decisions, you're ready to go, but not moving on as you want. Yeah, so there's lots of sort of crossroads, aren't there? And how do you know? So how can you make that assessment? So what you've probably all done is kind of gone, I think I feel this. There's lots of ways that your subconscious and your body gives you signals. So let's see if any of these type of situations resonate. So perhaps you go through your Monday to Friday normal routine, you have your weekend, it's massive, it's really busy, it's full on, you've got kids, you've got the other, and then Sunday afternoon comes and you get that feeling, that sort of, oh, it's Sunday, I've got Monday, this is what's going to happen. I used to call it like a weekend hangover. It's almost like, and it kicks in on a Sunday afternoon or evening, but you know, you think, oh, well, is this normal? Everyone must feel like that because it's just Sunday, isn't it? It's the night before you end up going to work. The reality is, no, they don't all feel like that. I don't feel like that. And when you love what you do, you don't feel that dread on a Sunday afternoon that you're going back to it. There's other things. What about if you're like irrationally emotional about something that you might have been to work and had a really rubbish, crummy day, and then you come home and something happens and it bang, you just burst into tears. And now if you're not like that and it's not, there's nothing else behind it, then well, why? It's your subconscious tapping you on the head going, listen, this isn't good, you're not enjoying this. What else is there? Who else has got those signs that you might even have ignored? And because we kind of push it away and we forge ourselves on and we get on with our day and no, push on, it's fine, it's just, and you explain these things away. The other great one that we ignore loads is like really little coughs and colds and little minor ailments. So you might get a cold one week and then you get, you know, like a sore this or a bad this, and it sort of snowballs, but it gets you down because you sort of feel like, oh, there's always something, and why do I get those? It's because you've got a low immunity and your body is always doing something else to keep you going, and you're susceptible to it. What else? Anyone else got any signs that you think? So what else is there? If you're normally a really sort of steady person and emotionally you don't swing from side to side, you might go from the teary to really angry to super happy, and it's quite hard to sort of level your emotions out. That can be another sign. There's loads, and what we tend to do through our normal day to day is go, it's fine, it's just because X, it's the time of the month, it's hormonal, it's blah, and we just sort of explain them all away and brush them under the carpet, when the reality is that actually having those feelings is like the universe giving you a great big nudge in the side to say, you need to be doing something about this, you need to be making these changes. So if you're experiencing stomach cramps, there we go, yeah, anxiety, like those sort of like flushes that people get when they're nervy, you can end up sort of having, obviously flushes is a different conversation for a different time, but you know, almost like that sort of irritable skin and rashes, not being able to level your emotions, yeah, putting off, trying to be nervous, yeah, exhausted, absolutely, yeah. So almost like disproportionately tired, like you know you've had a long day and you might have travelled, but I shouldn't be this tired. Tight chest, yeah, all of these things that we just kind of go, no, everyone feels like that. Well, they don't. Honestly, they don't. That isn't how life has to be. And when we suppress these things, be it a headache, be it a sniffle, be it a whatever, we're kind of coiling that spring even tighter. And someone used the word earlier, burnout. when you keep suppressing all of that stuff, what happens? It just kind of builds and builds and builds, doesn't it? It builds that pressure even more, so that something, small, big, whatever it's going to be, is going to make it go, because you're ignoring something that is trying, the world, your body, life is trying to tell you something. It's not right, it's not aligned, you're not in a good place. But instead of listening, so often we just push on and go, it's fine, we're all good, it's, this is life, what else is there? But that's not true. It's absolutely not true. So you can have two aspects of change. So change can happen to you, so things can be enforced upon you, or change can happen through you. Now, there's clearly some scenarios here where change has happened, an external factor has changed something in your life, but you're now in control again because something's changed and you've got an opportunity now. But if you sit being that person who says, well, things just always happen to me, you're waiting and you're putting off. Does that make sense? So if you're sort of sitting going, yeah, well, the next thing will come up, the next thing will come up. Well, how about actually letting change come through you instead and going, I'm not having this. I don't like it anymore. I'm getting off this crazy train and I'm going to go and find my own. Because you've always got that choice. Always got that choice. And the way that you react to the change that's enforced upon you that's the start of it, isn't it? That is the start of making your way, making your journey and going, no, this isn't for me anymore, and it is absolutely the right time for me. So those of you that have already changed and kind of changed lanes, you know how that feels. It's like, it's scary, it's frightening, and you've got to do some real soul searching. And you, even once you've done it, you're not totally sure you've done the right thing. You keep kind of looking back going, oh, maybe I should jump back on and no, I'll just go back and get into something else. And you can easily be pulled back away again, which isn't healthy, because if you've had those feelings, you've had those feelings for a reason. So let me tell you why I've wanted to dwell on that, because some people will say, yeah, but now's not the right time. Now's not good. There's no more reasons and at the moment. Oh, I can't do this now because of this. Can't do this now because... No, it's not true, because there is always a reason not to do something, and actually there's as many reasons to do it. Always. I don't care what's going on else in the world. There is always a reason to not and to. You'll find them. Your body will give you that, like, yeah, but if you're this, or yeah, but if you're that, and then suddenly you've not done anything. You've not gone either way. So if you're going to ignore all those signs and not move yourself forward, you're just kind of letting yourself float along, almost like like you're floating along a river of life, but you're just happy to just kind of bob along with the current. Surely it's more exciting to be able to say, yeah, I'm going to row now, and I'm going to row that way, and I'm going to go that way. But you have to know that it's right. You have to know why you made that change, and you have to listen, because if you're suppressing it and you go, no, then you've not got yourself to that place of being ready. And then you can see that you can easily get pulled back. So when things get hard and that little gremlin starts tapping you on the shoulder going, no, isn't it easier to go back and do that thing? If you're not totally sure as to why you're going to make these decisions, you'll get pulled back. It's like the boyfriend when you were a teenager, isn't it? That you ended up splitting up with, but actually you weren't really sure why. You just had a bit of a bust up, and then you end up going back because he asked you out again. It's like that. That can happen again with your life. And was it any better the next time you went back? Well, no, it wasn't, because it was never right. So you need to just kind of cut your ties, be ready to go. So the big question is, well, if it is right, you've decided it's right, you've gone through this process of look at all these signs, I've actually, for once in my life, sat and thought about it. You've typed a load of things in here. Do not lose sight of some of those reasons. So if you've made those thoughts come to the surface, so is now the right time? Who feels like it is and who feels like it isn't? Where kind of are you on that scale? Give me a thought, because you might well know it's not good for you right now, but does that still mean you're ready to do the thing and do your go it alone, or is there something else that you're clinging on to? Because there's a big question in that, isn't there? Is it enough? Are those whys? Are those reasons we've just talked about? Are they enough? Claire says yes. Well done, Claire. She's in there. She's first. She was in. Yes, love it. 100% the right time. Even better. Definitely feel it's right. Oh yes, loving it. I was kind of hoping to come on. Does no one need convincing? Right time is can't go back. Oh, but is it the right time? Because you can always go back to something else. There's always something else you can go back to. 100% right time. Oh, loving this, ladies. Properly strong. Because what I was going to say says on my, it has to be now. Now, so you're still journeying, Tanya. You're on the boat going, well, I've got a row or I'm going over the waterfall. Take control. You decide. It has to be now because something's happened to you, but now you can make it happen through you. Ramona said yes. So yeah, the next thing on my don't forget to say this is, well, if it's not now, then when? Because people make the most amazing excuses. And you might have had them, even if you're there now, which, my goodness, it's amazing, needs to be done. You're all there. But there are the most amazing excuses, and it is absolutely worth exploring these because these can still turn up at any time. They can turn up like a year down the line. They can turn up 2 years down the line. Bernie's saying, yes, it's got to be done now. Anne-Marie says, yes. Anne-Marie, your name's back to front. I'm sure you're not called Stevenson Anne-Marie. That's strange. Brea says now, oh, it's fab. Love it. So if you're not changing something right now, why would you not be changing it? Well, because you find these reasons. You find all these stories in your head. So you say things like, yeah, but I'm too old, or I'm too young, or I don't have the experience, or this, or I see other people doing the thing that I quite fancy doing, or I've had this idea and then they're going to be way better than me. All these things start coming up. And then you end up going, so I probably just won't then. And you end up back where you started again. So in terms of journeying with you today, I've wanted you to establish what are those feelings, why? What are your feelings as to right now? Do you know it's right for you to change now? You clearly do. So now where I want to go is, okay, so you do know it's right now, you are absolutely ready, but what happens when someone tempts you away? They push you, they say, well, yes, but. Want to see my year 11 through next year and then you're going to make... Well, that's pretty honourable. That is honourable. Limiting beliefs, here they come. Okay, so let's explore why you would not push yourself forward right now. Why would you hold back? Why would you not jump in with both feet and go, oh yeah, I'm doing it. You know, how long have some of you been, yes, you're saying it's now. Did you decide this last night? Did you decide this afternoon? You know, did you decide it 6 months ago, but actually you've been doing something else and now there's a story around it? Yes, but if I this, then this. So the stories that tend to come out normally fall in 3 areas. So they're age related, which I've just said, like, oh, I'm too old, I'm too young, don't have experience enough, I haven't got credibility because I'm too young, I'm this, I'm the other. Fear of failure, yeah. The intelligence, we all have this misconception that it's only certain people of certain this get to certain things, right? Okay, well, who says? You know, let's look at some of the most wealthy people around the world. They may have intelligence but not common sense, or they may have common sense and no intelligence. There's all sorts of things. I'll just point you towards America, saying no more, not being political. Your attitude will be much, much more. Startup funds, okay, so who said you needed money to start? You know, there's loads of stories. I realised how much I was procrastinating. Yeah, procrastination is great, love it. There's amazing ways that you get into procrastination. So when you're thinking about doing this, you can start hearing some of these stories a bit stronger than you ever knew, and actually you didn't even know they were there. So let me tell you my story when I first started, and this was purely because of what I'd been exposed to. So I saw people working their way through the ranks in an organisation, and I saw them working like much longer hours, working, you know, every hour God sent, to be able to then progress up and up. So for me, the more I knew that then they were earning more money because they were more senior and this, that, and the other. So I knew that the harder you worked, and therefore the more money you earn. So when I came to work for myself, I'd still got that story to say, well, I've got to work really hard and really long hours to be able to earn X, Y, and Z. That's total and utter story. And it was based on all the facts and the evidence as I'd seen it at the time. But there are people earning millions of pounds in this world that are working like 2 or 3 hours a day. There is no limit anymore to time and money, or success and money, or success and time. It's about the route that you choose that's right for you. So tell me some of your stories, because I love them, and they're where it's just amazing to see how we develop these versions of the truth that we almost then use as our reason to not, but we might use as our reason to. So Tanya realised that there's a lot of procrastination. So Julie, you're on your path, your soul purpose, you've held yourself back. Oh, lovely. And now you're ready to go. Fabulous. Yeah, jumping, wondering where to start to find clients. Yeah, so very practical. You need clients, otherwise you've got a hobby, a great hobby probably, but until you start getting the clients in and you've got a business, then yeah, it is. Startup funds, jumping from one idea to the other. Okay, that's the other half of your post, Petra. Yeah, so flitting between ideas is a really clever way that those inner gremlins can say. This is the holding you back thing, isn't it, by the way? These aren't your stories necessarily. Yeah, isn't it interesting that you can end up getting an idea and then going, oh yeah, but this idea is better, and oh, but this idea is better, and this idea. So actually you end up just being like a busy person jumping from one to the other, and it's really common. And actually it's another way that you're trying to effectively get in your own way, because if you concentrated on one and put all your efforts into that one, it's so much more likely to work than it is having lots and lots of ideas all going in one go, because you would literally channel all your energy into that one. But it's choosing what that one is. And if we end up with fear coming in, where we go, no, but if I choose this and it's wrong, and oh my goodness, I can't, because now I've seen this idea over here, and now, you know, you're never going to be actually move yourself forward. So that comes down to having a plan and being really clear on why it is you want to move yourself into this position. I nearly did it in 2016, says Lauren, but stayed put as returning from maternity leave. Yeah, so it's similar to me. Ex-nurse, now carer. I've been trying to be a virtual assistant for the last 2.5. Okay. So you know why, you know what you want to do. Employed, never managed to grow my own business. Closed it down after 11 years. Oh my goodness. But you want the flexibility of self-employment. Yeah. There's so much opportunity out there. Knowledge and know-how. Yeah, I mean, now there's isn't it? It's interesting to watch the world pivot and literally kind of move over a 2-week period into an entirely and utterly online world. So people that were providing services that needed to be physical have still been able to provide them largely over a virtual sense, but we're accepting that this is normal now. So there's businesses about to close down huge, great big offices because we're not going to go back out into the big wide world. So now has never been a better time to be able to take what you know, to take what you do, and offer it to millions and millions of people, because you can touch them via this medium, exactly like we're doing now. Whereas if you had a physical store that you were looking to open on a high street, you know, you've got a lot more of a limited reach, where now, you know, the world is your oyster. You can get your message out there, and you can get yourself in front of so many more people than you ever would have been able to. So, you know, now more than ever is the time to be doing this. You're all convinced. I don't need to convince you anymore. So starting on the practical then, we need to establish 2 things before anyone takes the leap and goes, oh yeah, it's amazing, I'm so ready, Sarah says I'm ready, and you know, we've done through this and I'm now jumping and oh my goodness, what am I going to do now? We need to do any change in our lives using both our emotional decision making process and a practical one, because the two working together is where the magic happens, not just yes, I'm going to do it and then oh no, I've got bills to pay. So what I recommend is being able to establish 2 figures. So this is where you're going to get the homework task, so prick up those ears now. We need to establish 2 numbers. We need to establish first, what do you need to earn? Now, there are some rare people who will be able to say, I know exactly down to the last penny. Most of us don't have a clue, and I would never have had a clue. So this number, your need to earn, this is where you establish for you exactly on a, it's easier to do it monthly because most cycles go in a monthly process, your billing, etc. What do you need to earn on a monthly basis? So that is to cover all the things that you call essential. And I chose my words then very carefully. It isn't, well, what does it, is it to keep a roof over your head? If for you it is essential that you have your gym membership and your Sky package and your nails done every other week, if that is really important to you, and I'm not making judgments on any of those examples by the way, whatever is essential for you to live in your household, what is it that is your share of that money? So do you put a proportion of it to the house? Do you cover it all? You know, where are you sitting on that? Establish what that number is. If it's nothing because you're entirely supported, then what do you need to earn for you? Because I'm pretty much guessing you would still want some kind of fund to do stuff with your mates and have the life. But for most, you know, there is a proportion of the household overheads to cover. And it's amazing how few people know what this number is. But if you don't, how are you going to know where on earth you can get? Herein lies a problem, mortgage to the hilt. Yeah, and you know, that's always going to be the big number, isn't it? But this is the first number that we're going to establish. And when you know that number and you've counted everything in there, you know, genuinely sit and have a look at that number. What does that number mean to you? Does it fill you with dread and fear, or are you surprised it's as high as that? You know, let's get attached to knowing what these are without any shame or dread. Or if you have a big mortgage, then, you know, rather than going, oh my goodness, this mortgage is killing me, it's crippling me, it means you can live in the house that you live in. You know, it means you've got a roof over your head. So there's always another way around to look at it. If your bank, when you look into your bank account and go, oh my goodness, all it's doing is going down and down and down, you can slip into that fear and that scarcity really easily. If instead you look at it and you go, oh, there's the electricity bill gone, that means I've been able to light the house, or there's the gas for the heating, there's the car payment, that means we've been able to go places, that means we've still got a car on the drive. All of these things are still a benefit to you. So rather than looking at it and going, oh my goodness, I can't believe how big that number is, it's frightening, embrace the number, get to know what the number is, get close to it and feel what that number means to you. Because once you know that, then that is when you can start to understand where you need to be with your business and with your income. So that's your first task. Establish your need to earn number, because that is where we're all going to start from. That means that you can move forward in a way that you can go, well, do you know what? I need to get to here. To do what I need to do, to live, to stay in my house, to feed the kids, to do this, to do the things that you feel essential, that's the number I need to get to. And it might be that you look at it and you go, well, that's far too big. So look at your need list again, because there's always things you can shave off. Always, always. But once you know that number, you're well on your way. So establish what your need to earn number is. So Anne-Marie knows an approximate number. Oh, jealous. Been trying to do a budget sheet. Moving home, done my stepdaughters in a day. Yeah, probably too much detail. Okay, so your second number is your want to earn. Now, this is where the fun starts, because I don't want you to go, well, it's obviously £1 million. You know, let's have an element of realism here. You know what your need to earn is. But what if your want to earn was double that, let's say? What else would you do? What would that mean to you? What would that mean for your family, your life, your day-to-day? What if it was triple that? What would that mean? What would you want to do with that? And see where you sit, because for some people it'll be, well, just about double, or some people it'll be £10,000 a month, £5,000. You know, there's a whole gamut of where you might want to be. Just get to the point where you find a number where you go, ooh, that'd be nice. And then think about why. Well, why is it nice? Not just because you want money in the bank, because frankly, nobody just wants money to have it in the bank. You want to do stuff with it, don't you? You want to live a life. You want to be able to have experiences. You want to go and be able to treat people. You want to spend time with people. You want to travel. Whatever it is you want. There is no judgment about what it is you want. But when you come up with your want to earn number, it has to be associated to an emotion. And that emotion has to come from you. So I can't tell you what your want to earn number should be, and I can't tell you what emotions it should evoke in you. It's got to be yours. So for me, I know that my proportion of the earnings into this family are the difference between our holidays. So I can say, well, the money that I bring in allows us to have a different level of holiday, and for me that allows us then to have time as a family away from the busyness of the house and the day-to-day life, and actually enjoy time together. So for me, the big want to earn covers that covers the family holidays. But actually for some of you it might be, well, I've got the house, I've got the car, I've got the whatever already, so actually I want to be able to give money to my kids because they're struggling, or I want to be able to help the local community do something. You know, there's so many things that having some additional funds coming in will do, and you have to connect to that on an emotional level. Because imagine that a fairy godmother just came and waved a wand and said, well, there you go, it's happened, boof, there you are, you've got it now. Well, what would you do then? You know, what does it really mean? Is there something that you can really tie yourself into, because it feels like there's a real buzz about that number? Is it because you'd feel massively proud of being able to say, well, I've got to my number? Is it because it sort of represents something? In which case, well, what does it represent? So tell me, you don't need to share the number, but what would that additional, if you got to your want to earn, what would you do with it? So let's have some fun. Share with me what you would do. So for me, while you're thinking, if I got to my want to earn, I would be able to say, and literally I'm thinking this off the hoof, you'd think I'd know, wouldn't you? Practice what you preach and all that. It's all been turned on its head because we can't holiday this year. I would probably say that we would have an additional property, so that we would not necessarily holiday here, there and everywhere, but we'd be able to have a place somewhere that we could go to be away, so that we would then go there on our breaks, on our holidays, but we could go for like little mini breaks and longer breaks and all sorts. So for me, that's what I would take. Plus I'd be able to give more to the household bills and cover everything without any stress whatsoever. But for me, that connects into my desire to want to be with my children and to share experiences with them, to have time, you know, just to chill with them rather than shouting at them to do the homework. And it's when you can get into that want to earn and that emotional level that it can spark some of those, which you're going to need to start firing through this week. I know it too well, but I know it can come down if I stopped and looked away. I don't think I understood that, Tanya. Know it too well, but if I know, it can come down if I stop looking away. Yeah, okay, so own my place, secure, safety, debt-free. a nest egg and a spoilt family. Beautiful. Be debt free, yeah. Would love to have a second home. There you go. We'll discuss, Lauren. We can have one down the road. Or if you get yours, I'll get mine, and we can, yeah, have like a timeshare between the two. Own home, brilliant. Holidays, second property. You're all nicking my idea. Spend time with the kids, comfort, peace of mind. Save for a deposit for a holiday home in Cornwall and France. Ooh, 2, Fiona, lovely. Oh yeah, there's lots of us all really similar. Choices. Yeah, I love that, Lisa. And that's it. It's about, sometimes it's about being able to say yes to stuff, isn't it? Not being able to cut corners or make compromises. So yes, we can do that thing, but it means we can't do that thing. Having that number enabling you to just say, yeah, we'll do that thing. We'll have that extra takeaway. We'll go on that extra day trip. Yes, we'll eat out. We won't take a packed lunch on your day trip. Or yes, you can extend your bouncing time at blooming jump in and bounce for another. Yeah, they're minor things sometimes, but if you're not at your need, if you're only at your need to earn and you're not at your want to earn, it's stuff like that on a daily basis that starts kind of grinding you down. So expanding your thoughts to say, oh, this could take me here, this could take me here. Now, I'm not asking you to do this for some sort of emotional roller coaster journey. I'm asking you to do this to start that expansive thinking. Oh, there's some more coming up. They've all just gone zipped through. Choices. I stopped there, didn't I? Pay off card, be debt free, have a holiday. You see, I shouldn't have even said. That's why I try so hard not to make suggestions, because go nice place, make memories, happy and no stress. There's no guarantee, by the way, that having more money is stress free. It can still be stressful, I'm pretty sure, but it certainly lubricates life, doesn't it? A cabin near the sea, nice. Pay off mortgage, yeah, nice, Nancy. Spend time with your kids and on fancy holidays. Yeah, I love that, a fancy holiday. Pay for my daughter's competitive Latin dance lesson. Oh wow, is that like a really expensive hobby? There's somebody, I can't remember who said they were into horses. That's one of the most expensive hobbies that I've ever known. They seem to just sap. We've got Julie, freedom. Yeah, freedom. Let's talk about freedom. What does that mean? Lots of people have liked that comment. Yeah, money buys you just that ability to kind of go, yeah, okay, yeah, right, yeah, we'll do that thing, or no, I don't fancy doing that thing. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's a biggie. Property in Cyprus to be paid off. Oh, have you already got? Oh, I'm saying yeah, you've already got that property then. Yeah, I think there's loads about life, isn't there? Loads about living somewhere else, or I wonder whether that's symptomatic of the fact that we've all been locked in for I don't know how long. So your want to earn number should be starting to build you a vision of what that life really looks like, because it's then that we can start getting to enlist that subconscious of us, so that rather than we're living in this day-to-day, hand-to-mouth, get up, do your routine, do the thing, go to work, come home. That's all very logical, and it's all very frontal of your mind, in your conscious mind. Your subconscious just has to sort of tick along and do its thing, and then it gets to play at night while you're asleep. If we're allowing ourselves to sit and just have some thoughts around, wow, what could life look like, and oh, wouldn't that be amazing, then that half of the brain that is sat there idly just kind of plodding along with you suddenly gets woken up, and it gets invigorated to start thinking about these things. And the more you do that, the more useful that part of your brain becomes to you, because honestly, it is just busily at the moment working through all your body systems that you're not even aware of, and it's doing its thing, and other than that, it's probably working at like 5% capacity. If you start enlisting it a little bit more and saying, so what if this? Well, what if I did this? And ooh, I can actually, like, no one's going to judge me for thinking these things. No one is judging you. It's in your head. You're sharing here, but that's different. When you start to enlist those thoughts, you start becoming quite imaginative. And the more you allow those thoughts to come, the more imaginative you get on, guess what? The solutions to get there, and the drive to get there, the desire to get there, the push. So I'm not for a minute attempting to create some like carrot to dangle in front of you that gets you all excited, and then I'm going to just go, well, there you go, now you know your number, good luck with that. What I'm doing is trying to get you to really think about, well, what would it mean? Because if we all said you can earn triple, quadruple, 10 grand a month, there you go. Well, so what? What's that going to do? If you haven't got a why, and if you haven't got a push to do these things, then when the days are hard, when you don't know what you're doing, you're ready to just throw in the towel, you can go back to that and say, well, this is why, this is the vision that I'm working towards, this is the thing that's going to get me out of bed on those days when I'm just pulling my hair out and I'm so frustrated, or I just don't feel like it. It's that you can then go back to and go, oh, I remember now. So that's one major benefit. The other major benefit is your subconscious starts to get working for you, which is a supercomputer. It is going all the time. And suddenly it goes, okay, so you want to get to that thing over there. I can just about, you want to get there. Okay, so to get there, we're going to need to do some stuff first because we're like miles away from there. And before you know it, it started to bring you some action, some thoughts, some plans, all sorts. And it's brought you into a place with those ideas and those, oh wow, you've actually given me this opportunity to have a think, and oh, here you go, here's an idea, why don't you try that out, or why don't you work on that, or why don't you do that? So by knowing and thinking about what it is you would ideally want to earn, it starts enlisting those thoughts, which is where we want to get to. I need a slurp of my drink. Is this making sense? You've been quiet now for a minute. What have I got? I've got a little alert. Bernie, do you really want to come on the video? I'm not sure you do. I'm saying you pressed the wrong button. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a yes, making sense. Give me a not sure. Oh, I've got 1. That's good. 2, 3. Very slow. Yes, there we go. That's better. Okay. So today, let's recap. We have, oh, there we go. They're so slow. They are so slow, those reactions. I knew that you wouldn't. Otherwise, you'd have disappeared and you're all still here. Okay, so let's recap. What time are we on? Oh my God, I've talked for nearly an hour. I'm so sorry. Total makes sense, definitely. Bonus. Right. So your homework is, you need to, I love that, Anne-Marie, totally. You don't mean that, you mean totally. Whoop, whoop, thumbs up. I like an emoji. Fab. So we've thought about some of the signs you might have been ignoring. You all know you're in a good place. You all know that you're ready to make that change. I was kind of pushing on an open door, which is super bonus, brilliant. But you also know, it's still a long day, Bernie. There you go. So you didn't want to come on the video then. You know that you want to make those changes. I was already preaching to the converted, but I wanted to reinforce that because, as I say, when things are tough, it's too easy just to go back. So let's not forget some of those things you said. Let's not forget some of the answers you gave as to why now is the right time. And yes, it is. And yes, I'm ready to do this. I'm so strapped in for the ride. We've talked about if you're not going to do it now, well, when is there going to be the right time? Because frankly, now has never been better. You know, they always say, don't they, the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago? Well, here we are. You're on your journey. So brilliant. There's loads of stories that come up. We talked about those, about, well, yeah, but this, or yeah, but that, and yeah, but that. And if you haven't got an obvious one right now, you're going to get them because your brain's amazing at going, oh yeah, but what are they, but what about this, but what about that? And it doesn't help you, it doesn't serve you whatsoever, but they will turn up nonetheless. But when they do, at least you can kind of go, oh, story, interesting, didn't know I thought that, or I didn't realise I'd got that misconception about this, that and the other. And then finally we went practical. So we did lots of thoughts, lots of mindset work, and then we looked at practical, which is me in a nutshell. I like to combine the two. So we then looked at the practical side of establishing two figures, your need to earn figure and your want to earn figure. And the reason we do the want to earn is why? To get the subconscious going, to start those exciting thoughts about making those plans, and to start leaning into it so it becomes an emotional connection. So your homework, when the post goes live, give me any feedback, give me any comments on there, that'll be perfect. And then tell me about your two numbers. Again, entirely up to you if you want to share the numbers. Obviously this is a private group, you haven't got any random relatives unless you've invited them that's going to see this. So write in there, if you know you need to earn, just say, yeah, you know it, you've established it. And then what your want to earn is going to mean to you. So some of you have put them in here, but expand it, have a think. Don't just kind of type immediately. You've all said some of the suggestions. So what else? What's your day going to look like? When you wake up on a morning, are you going to this, are you going to the other? Type them in and share them, because I can't wait to see them. Monica, hello. A lot of love from you, my lovely. Thank you. Okay, so any other questions? I'm going to keep talking for a minute or two. If you've got any other questions you want me to revisit, you're not sure what you're supposed to do, then ask away. And then the only final thing for me to tell you is about tomorrow. Day 2 is on the other side of my piece of paper down here. Tomorrow is about what do you really want. So we are really going to go to town on the why, on the future thing, on the what is it you can visualize in that future position. So all those starts of those thoughts around your ultimate want to earn is really our foundation stuff ready for tomorrow. And I'm going to get you thinking big and thinking about the goals that you're going to set yourself, because without a goal, honestly, you're just drifting. You're just drifting along, probably having a great time, working really hard. You need to have those goals in place, that you know that you're working towards something which is getting you towards that place of your ultimate, which is your dream, your vision, your perfect life. Right, any other questions? No. Gabriella says, thank you. Absolute pleasure. I've loved it. Working tomorrow on Wednesday evening. Yeah, Julie, yeah, and for everybody else. So the replays are going to stay in here for probably about a week and a half. So try and catch them then before you catch us live again. They sort of work on their own, but there's kind of a progressive thread. So yeah, try and catch the replay before we then go live the following night. Yeah, as I say, tomorrow we're doing what you really want, and then I've got a super bonus for you on Wednesday. So hopefully you can see that live, but if not, on the replay. It's been amazing to have you, and I'm so grateful for so many of you being here and for playing along, for putting the comments in, for sharing your stuff with me. It makes it a dream to do as opposed to talking to myself. So thank you so much to each and every one, and I will see you same place, same time tomorrow. Go and have a lovely rest of your evening. Bye everyone. Bye.